She's like completely resilient, you know. Every little milestone and everything is just like so amazing with her. When we got the confirmation of the diagnosis, I honestly immediately kind of started seeking support. The big thing was I want to do everything in my power to make this little girl thrive. Like whatever we can do, whatever resources we can use, you know, we just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling immediately. DSANEO was one of the first ones that kind of popped up.
No two families are the same. The way we meet each other, the way we support each other. So it's kind of an exciting first encounter when you get a call from a new family.
I just didn't even know where to start. I didn't know if my feelings were valid that I was feeling. I had just so many unknowns and fear. Just the immediate support and connection I had with Cori was unbelievable. Really from that moment on, I just kind of gave myself a lot more grace, is the biggest thing I can say. It's hard to do that sometimes.
She was like my mentor. I was getting fed through her, who's being fed by Cori, you know, and I think how she felt was a big impact to how I felt. And just, I think the biggest thing was just being more comfortable with what was ahead of us.
Tell you like what a blessing she is. She's just brought so much joy to our whole family. We wouldn't want her any other way, that's for sure.
She's super strong. I mean, going through the surgery she's had, not showing the pain that I would expect to see out of something like that. She's just so easygoing and very happy baby.
You just really don't know what you need. I mean, ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Honestly, I think the breadth and the scope of what DSANEO does is just so incredible to me. So I'm only 6 years into my journey with Down syndrome and my daughter Faith. And what I've learned, you know, as a mom is just those early years. And when I came on board in June as a staff member and attended my first staff meeting, I could pinch myself being at that table. I could see my future. I could see Faith's future. And it was so bright. It was so empowering. And I took a deep breath and I was like, wow, this is really, truly incredible that I get to be a part of something so big. The first time I met Ashley's family in person was at the Buddy Walk. And it was so incredible.
It gives me like chills. Like I walked up to it and like seeing all these families and stuff, I literally was in tears because I was just like, I don't know, like you just feel like so much love and like you're realizing like I'm a part of this like amazing community now.
It was a proud moment. It made me know that they're gonna be okay, and they are okay. Look at them, you know, they're thriving already.
We're gonna make even a bigger team this year, so it's gonna be wonderful.
Love is unconditional.
Yeah.
Welcome to Something Extra. I'm here today with Cori Thomas. She is DSANEO's new Parent Support Coordinator.
I knew that, you know, a few years into being Faith's mom, that I enjoyed helping other people understand things about Down syndrome. I did feel kind of a passion for showing people her life and what it's like. Yeah.
Educating, you know, the community.
It just felt, it was fulfilling for me to show people, you know, what she's like and what she's not like, because a lot of people just don't know or don't have a lot of exposure. So as I started thinking about all the different things I could do, I just literally one day opened my email and got the mass email that this position was needing to be filled. And it was just kind of not even I didn't even think twice about it. Honestly, it just, my heart kind of skipped a beat and thought, wow, this would be perfect for me. It was extremely exciting at the time because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. But when I read what they were looking for, I was just,
that's me.
Yeah, I wanted to do it so badly, and that's why I applied.
So what exactly is your position about? So you're the initial contact for new families.
Yeah, I'm most of the time their first call when they reach out and want to speak with somebody or spend time with somebody that has a child with Down syndrome that is kind of close in proximity to the scenario that they're going through. So, you know, I'm only 6 years in, Faith is 6, so a lot of the early days are fresh in my mind. So parents will reach out in a lot of different ways, and everyone is different. Every family is unique in what it is that they're looking for. It might just be somebody to listen, somebody to answer some questions, or could you give me some information, you know, that might be medical. We don't give medical advice, but we can definitely connect them with resources to help, you know, give them knowledge and understanding of their diagnosis.
Yeah, navigating those first, like once you receive the diagnosis too, is very important.
Yes,
lots of
it
things
is.
going
There's
on.
a lot going on, and a lot of emotions and feelings, and people are sorting through it.
So how do you support these families?
So we meet in person, one-on-one. I'll get together with sometimes moms that are prenatal, you know, and they have a diagnosis, and I'll get together, meet them in their hometowns, and we'll get coffee, or I might meet a family at their home, and we can talk and give them resources. We have a lot of other parents we can connect them with. We have a parent mentor program. We have trained parent mentors that we can connect families with that may have similar stories or similar, you know, ways that they found out about their diagnosis, and we can connect them based on those similarities if they want to. It really truly is up to the family to guide, you know, what type of support they need. So a lot of what I do is just listening, listening and finding
you know
out.
what? Sometimes that's what they need.
Yes, yes. So it's not, there's no elaborate like plan that I have when I meet a new family. It's just, you just build relationships with people and try to help them, you know, calm their nerves and maybe ease the path that's a little bit complicated at first if you don't have a buddy next to you that can say, this is what we did and here are your options, because there's a lot. There's a lot to offer people that's out there, and you may or may not know that unless somebody has, you know, experienced it and can share that with you. So.
Yeah, it's good to relate to somebody. I mean, you said you had Faith, and that she's 6 years old now. Melissa, tell us more about your role at DSANEO.
So I'm working as the early childhood parent support coordinator. What we do, like, we host events for play groups or parent get-togethers, so we can keep parents connected for the reasons
the reasons we just said.
provide information that's needed for the parents if they need advice on how to transition. Early childhood for me is from 3 to 5 years old, so I'm working with the preschool, basically, population. So
I love that age.
I do too. I do too. We just had a gathering yesterday, and I was in heaven because it's been many, many years since I've been around that age. It's, you know, we provide support if they need advice, you know, transitioning into the school, IEPs, things like that.
Okay, and like provide resources like medical resources.
Right,
and
medical
things
resources such
Yeah.
as speech therapists, physical therapists, things
Yes.
like that.
And the guidelines.
Right. So, you know, for luckily now, unlike, you know, when Matt was young, they have medical guidelines that, you know, we can just print out or have parents print out and hand to their pediatrician what is exactly recommended for our individuals at certain ages so that things aren't missed like the celiac disease was for Matthew.
So what is something that at this age, between 3 and 5, that's important for parents to know? Like, what are some of the things that you help them with?
Well, I think that some of the things that are important is understanding a lot of times at this age, our kids are still not verbal, and understanding that those skills are all going to come. It just takes a little bit longer. And just like the typical population, all of our individuals are going to come to these things in their own time.
Yeah,
and
that
in
is
their
really
own way.
important to know.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, all children are different.
Right.
So
Right.
just because your child has Down syndrome, I mean, there is medical guidelines for that, but they're going to come out on their own.
Right. And, you know,
That's really
often
important.
people think that it's, you know, they're Down syndrome, so they have specific things and they're going to do things at specific times, but they're individuals too, and they're going to come upon it at their own pace.
So how do you guide the families through this stage?
So just like we said, providing resources, whether that's printed resources or referring them out to specialties, whether it's a behavior specialist, a speech therapist, we have a great academic program that Gina runs that, you know, encouraging them to do kindergarten readiness, because it is a big transition to get into kindergarten.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, even for Matthew back then, it was a lot of center-based therapies, which is everything was all in one place, whereas now a lot is home-based. So sometimes our kids have very limited contact with other children, so just that alone is a big change for them. And then
The social part.
right, the
yeah.
social part, and then, you know, getting parents ready to deal with the different school districts and understand what their legal rights are under the disability idea. Right? Under IDEA, what they can demand and insist being in the IEP to make their child successful in school.
Yes, so what kind of programs does DSANEO offer for these families?
So, like I said, we have Saturday morning preschool, kindergarten readiness programs. We also offer for the kids, we do library groups, we do play groups. There's the events that DSANEO does in general for the entire families to go to different events. And then we also have educational series that we bring in speakers and either have them talk via Zoom now that we're in the post-COVID world, or we do it in person if we're allowed, if we can do that, gather safely.
And that's one of the things that I highly recommend too, is getting to know the other parents, bonding with the other families, because that's something that you claim you didn't have when Matthew was growing up. Yeah, I mean, things were so different. I mean, even different now. My daughter's 18, and there's things now that I know that I'm like, oh, I wish
I knew that, and I wish, yes.
When she was growing up. So there's so many different changes. There's so many changes and so many things that we offer the parents now that we didn't have.
Hey bartender, you assume that I cannot drink a margarita, so you don't serve me a margarita? So I don't drink a margarita. Your assumption becomes reality. And parents, you assume that I cannot live on my own, so you don't encourage me to live on my own, so I don't live on my own. Coach, you assume that I cannot hit harder, so you don't train me to hit harder, so I don't hit harder. And teacher, you assume that I cannot learn Shakespeare, so you don't teach me Shakespeare.
Old MacDonald had a farm,
so I don't learn Shakespeare. E-I-E-I-O. But hey, if all your assumptions become reality, then assume that I can drink a margarita. Will you serve me a margarita? So I drink a margarita. Assume that I can live on my own. So I live on my own. Assume that I can hit harder. So I hit harder. Assume that I can learn Shakespeare. So, what fools these mortals be! Assume that I can do that job. That I can go to parties. That I can be on stage. Assume that I can. So maybe I will.